Paul, looking ahead to Saturday's big FA Trophy game against Notts County, what a fantastic tie it is for the football club.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that, we're just buzzing to be back training this week and really, really looking forward to just playing a game of football. There's real good news around the camp that, it looks like the COVID problem we've had has disappeared. We've had no negative tests for the 10-day period now. And it was just joyful, really, to be able to come in to train this week and just see players enjoying themselves. So, yeah, just can't wait for 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock on Saturday. I was just about to say 3 o'clock.
It's one of the weird things, isn't it, about right now? Everything's changing, everything's different. But I suppose it must be nice to have that resemblance of normalcy back in your life, being able to get back on the training field, do what we want to do, and that's play football and play a big team in Notts County.
Yeah, I mean, they're a big club in the National League, that's for sure. Great support base, great stadium, Meadow Lane, and I know haven't been there in the FA Cup before, and I've had a good experience there. But we're playing against one of the top teams in the National League, one that I would expect to be certainly in there to win it, and if not, definitely in the promotion shake-up at the end of the season through playoffs. So it's a tough task. We know that. We appreciate we're massively the underdogs, but actually it's quite nice to be the underdogs because most of the times in my 18 months at the club, I don't think we've been the underdogs. The FA Cup run this year, we were never the underdogs. And that was in, I think, 5 games. Maybe Bath away was a 50-50. But it's actually quite nice in that respect, not to be the favourites.
You said before the Altrincham game that you like the idea of seeing where we are, pitting ourselves against a National League side. And this will be a real test of that resolve. Yeah,
both games would have been. I mean, Altrincham have gone on since our game got cancelled and, have been winning games still. I think they had a great result in midweek against Torquay, I believe.
Yeah.
And, Notts County, we watched them a couple of times. And, some of the football they're playing and their possession-based game, it is quite attractive to watch. So, like I said, we know what the level is at National League. That's what we're aspiring at some point to try and get to. And like I said, it will give us a little indication. Having said that, as I said to you before, I think this isn't a normal season. We haven't trained really much in the last 6 weeks because of the amount of isolation periods we've had, and we've only had 2 games. So, we know we're up against it for lots of reasons, but everyone's really looking forward to it. And in football, it's 11v11, and as we know, stranger things than us beating Notts County would have happened.
Does that make home advantage important? I know obviously the aspect of behind closed doors, but does that make home advantage important, especially with the 3G?
I think if Notts County were travelling up on the day, like most teams would have done in the trophy, I think you might have had an advantage. But, Notts County are a proper club. They're doing it right. They're staying overnight in a hotel the night before. So, very clearly as a club, they do things properly. As far as the 3G, I believe that, Notts County have been playing at Bromley's and Sutton's already. There's plenty of 3G pitches now in the National League. And no doubt they train on a 3G pitch as and when their grass facilities are waterlogged. So I think the 3G debate is over for me. I think most players are very, very familiar with it. And we've already seen, it's not a huge advantage one way or the other, to be honest.
When you get to this stage of the competition, around the last 16 as we are now, okay, it's still a few more games to win, but I think in the back of any player's mind at this stage, especially in non-league, is that carrot that's dangled towards the end of the line.
Yeah, to be honest, again, I think everyone's just happy to be back this week. I don't think one of us has even thought about or even discussed a Wembley appearance. But you're right, it's one of the only competitions that you've got a genuine chance, apart from if you end up in the final of the promotion playoff spots in the National League. So, for any non-league player, and that's what we are, we're non-league players and managers, you always dream of that day out at Wembley. And obviously, the whole of the club, the whole of the support base would have the best, have the best day. So that's in normal times, that's something you talk about. But I think we're just pleased to be back, finally playing another game.
How have the players been this week? I suppose they must have been chomping at the bit to be able to, obviously in line with the COVID protocols, be able to train and do what they want to do, and that's play matches of football.
Yeah, again, credit to the club. You know, everything's been done properly again. You know, testing on the Monday when we come in. You know, everything, all the hand sanitizers, all the masks. You know, Tim Mellor in particular has been, you know, onto us all the time about reminding us about social distancing and hand washing, and you know, it's been a good week, and it's almost like that's the normal now for us. It's like the new normal, and we just get on with it. It's not strange anymore to be wearing masks in the analysis meetings and this, that, and the other. Hard week for the players. We had to have a hard week. It's almost like a pre-season week, if I'm being honest. Lots of hard running on the Monday and the Tuesday. Less so today, but as I said, they've had a hard week because there's quite a few cobwebs to get out the legs.
But I suppose naturally, of course, as you say, there'll be cobwebs in there. But knowing that, you know, a game like this, I mean, to play any game for them, they would have been right up for it, and they would have made sure they did whatever they could to be a part of it.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you've not played, you know, as I said, very much football, and also the threat of football either, you know, continuing or not continuing, as it happened to us last year. I think any game you're going to get at the moment, you know, you've got to want to look forward to playing it, which is a good reaction. And I think, yeah, you're right. I think because it is Notts County and because we know they're decent, and because we're the underdogs, I think that would just, you know, give us that extra 10% to want to go out and put the best performance on we can. But it's one of those games, you know, we need to keep relatively tight earlier on. You don't want to concede one or two early goals because then it's very, very difficult. But you know, we're a good side, and we've got a good squad of players, and you know, the work that we've done this week, I think, would lead us to thinking we should have a good performance.
I know we speak about it quite a lot, but I think on this occasion, perhaps as much as any other, behind closed doors, obviously, and it would have been a shame because in normal circumstances, I can just imagine this place being absolutely rocking. There probably would have been 2,500 of our support, possibly adding another 1,500 fans coming down from Nottinghamshire, and it would have been a real carnival. I suppose with that, it's quite a shame.
Yeah, again, unfortunately, that's become a little bit like the new normal, and that's the bit that nobody likes. We, you know, as I said, I've not really enjoyed this season because of the empty stadia. I think one of our best games of the season so far was Chelmsford at home. You know, one of the two games that we've had crowds here. And, you know, it led to a much, much better, more, you know, attractive performance. So I don't think any of us are enjoying, every manager that I speak to doesn't enjoy playing behind closed doors. And as I said, you know, fingers crossed, we're all hoping and praying that maybe April, May, that we will have people back in the stadium. But I certainly think come July, the pre-season games, I do think that we'll be allowed to have a good crowd in. So I've never known me, you know, listen to Matt Hancock so much in my life, because every time he talks, I want to know if he's going to let people back in to watch sport. And you know, the idea today that we can get to, once we get to over 50s vaccinated, then they'll start open sports stadia. That's something that's been inferred today. The over 50s will hopefully be vaccinated by the end of March. So that's where I sort of clinging back to maybe April, maybe May, that we'll have supporters back again.